In the late 1960s, a researcher discovered a fossil of a multituberculate, a small mammal, in southwestern Montana's foothills. This was unexpected because multituberculates, which had thrived 165 million years ago, were believed to have gone extinct about 56 million years ago. At the time of the discovery, the fossils came from rocks that were 17 million years younger than when multituberculates should have been gone. Even more surprising, the fossils were found in the foothills, not the typical low-lying basins. This led paleontologists to rethink their understanding of the region, ultimately revealing an interesting trend about the impact of mountains on evolutionary diversity. During the early Eocene period, about 56 million years ago, the area that is now Wyoming had a tropical climate. The warm and wet environment supported a variety of trees and plants, creating ideal conditions for the first primates. These early primates began to diversify, developing features like grasping hands and feet for better movement through the canopy. Initially, scientists believed primates fell into two distinct groups: adipoids, larger, lemur-like species that ate fruit and leaves, and omomyoids, smaller, tarsier-like species that fed on insects, small vertebrates, and seeds. Omomyoids were particularly diverse, with over 40 genera identified in North America between 55 and 36 million years ago. These species were further divided into two groups: the small anaptomorphines, with sharp teeth and prominent fourth premolars, and the larger omomyans, with less pronounced teeth. However, the story started to shift in the 1970s. A new wave of researchers, inspired by the multituberculate discovery, began exploring the foothills of central Wyoming. To their surprise, they found that anaptomorphines, once thought to have gone extinct, were still alive and diversifying at higher elevations. By the 1990s, researchers working at an even higher site, around 2,200 meters, uncovered a wealth of fossils, including more than a dozen species of primates. These fossils were smaller and tarsier-like in structure, with differences in their teeth marking distinct species. What stood out most was that these high-elevation sites revealed far more diversity than the long-explored lower-elevation sites. Even species usually abundant in lower elevations, like Omomys carteri, were less common here. This raised questions. Why was there such a stark difference in diversity between these sites? Scientists soon realized that mountains created more varied environments, with different habitats formed by changes in altitude, temperature, and precipitation. These variations offered more niches, meaning there were more opportunities for species to specialize and evolve. Mountains also acted as refugia, allowing species to survive in isolated pockets where competition was less intense. The varied landscapes of the mountains, shaped by tectonic activity and volcanic eruptions, further contributed to the differences in species distribution. These regions acted almost like islands, providing isolated environments for species to thrive. As a result, animals like the anaptomorphines were able to persist in the mountains, not because they were rare, but because their habitat